What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the whiskey world? Give it a couple minutes for everyone to get in here. Wow, it is goodness. I can't believe we are already mid-January. I'm just in this to myself, which is crazy. Let's see who we got in chat. Drop a comment. Let me see who we got in chat. Let's see who is here. Who's in the house tonight? Who is in the house tonight? I got two glasses in front of me. Hopefully, that's not a sign of the judge having problems. I promise you, that's not the case. I just had a little bit of warm up before I get to the main celebration of whiskey tonight. Let's see who we have in the chat tonight. Who is on? Who is on? Drop a comment. Let me know who's in the chat. What you're drinking, or plan to be drinking, I should say as well. Pretty soon that could be the case as well. Let me know who we got. Wow, what's up, D? D Majors, Nashville's finest, my brother. What's going on, Donald? Troy. All right, we got some people in the house here. What's going on, Troy Cassell? Mr. C, 85.99. LA. All right, Los Angeles. All right, very cool. Can't beat that. There we go. Who else we got? Big Rick. What's up, Big Rick? Good to see you, man. I appreciate you joining tonight. Oh, man. George's finest in that house. Frankie Farron. Frankie Bourbon. What's going on, brother? Good to see your name, man. I love seeing your name, bro. Dan Hyatt. What's going on, my Ohio connection? What's going on, Mr. Santos? Dave PA. 108 proof. I thought you were 107 proof. Okay, now 108. All right. Maybe I messed that up. I like that, though. I like that. Silver Speed. What's going on, man? How are you doing? Little Jack Daniels. All right, 10-year-old. Very nice. I like it. Very nice. C. Nitty. Houston's in the house. All right. Good stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. My man Ronald's drinking, of course, Eric Single Barrel. Oh, I got to find the Eric Single Barrel. I don't want to say only, but I have, this is the Scarlet Knights edition. All right. So the Single Barrel. All right, that's going to be coming up very soon. I like it. What's going on? Slow that down. I love you too, my man. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Much love. Dallas in the house. What's going on? All right. I love it. D-Town Rock. I love it. Sagamore. Oh, man, Big Rick. Sagamore is a solid whiskey, man. We are very fortunate, I would say, this day and age. We have a lot of great whiskey. We're going to dive into even more great whiskey when we bring Eric on. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off real quick. First and foremost, I just want to say cheers to everybody out there. If you missed my last live stream, which I had, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. But we're back again. So I would kind of give a quick little shout out to rewind. About 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago, I'm sitting there watching TV, and Eric was on TV, came on, huge personality, wonderful smile, just a wonderful human being. He shared his story on TV, and then honestly, I was truly just kind of like, I was really mesmerized with just how much of a wonderful human being this person is, right? And at the end of the day, I end up finding out that he loves whiskey, which he talked about on TV as well. So fast forward 2 years later, I'm thinking to myself, gosh, this is a great person. Next thing I know, one of his business partners reaches out. He was like, hey, Judge, would you like to have Eric on the channel? I'm like, Eric Legrand, like the famous guy, like on my channel. But I am truly thankful to have him here today. He is a wonderful human being. I mean, the man is a philanthropist, an entrepreneur. He owns his own coffee shop. He owns his own whiskey brand. He's a public speaker. But again, like I say, above all, he is a wonderful, and I mean wonderful human being, and I am so honored and blessed to have Mr. Eric Legrand with us tonight. Let me go ahead and bring Eric on real quick.
Judge,
Eric, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, brother. I appreciate you having me on.
Nah, no worries, man. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us for a little bit. I appreciate it. I know you are a busy man as well with all of your festivities and businesses that you have going on. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your night to hang out with us, man. Thanks so much, brother. I really appreciate that.
This is what the bourbon community is all about. We sit here, sip on bourbon, we talk about it, and our experiences with it. That's the main reason why I got into it, just the storytelling and just being able to hang out with and have fun.
It is, man. It is. It's funny. It's funny you say that about like the experiences, like the people that you meet. Like, a lot of those names that I mentioned earlier on, like Troy Cassell, Dan Hyatt. my buddy Donald from Nashville. Those names are like, those are people that I've met over the last few years because of this. And like, it has truly become a part of my family, right? My daughter knows, like, she hears the name Dan Hyatt. She hears the name, my buddy Donald from Nashville. It is truly a whiskey community, It really is.
I'm so happy to be a part of it. As my journey got started with it, I was obviously new to the bourbon community as I launched the brand. My business partner, who's been in spirits for over 25 years, was introducing it to me. And then as you start to go out in the community, you start to hear people come to your tastings and share their experiences. Then you go on Facebook. You see the Facebook groups throughout the country, throughout the state of New Jersey where I am. And that's how you really start to build just that community and the camaraderie and people wanting to support you and be around. And honestly, it's been a blessing. Obviously, business goes up and down. You have fun with it. There's tough days, but for the most part, if you're not having fun, then why are we doing it? And I'm having a lot of fun.
So true. You're right about that. You're absolutely spot on about that. If you're not having fun, why do it? And it's honestly all about fun. I would say my best days this day and age, take away my family, obviously, is all about like when I hang out with my good friends, like my buddy Troy. Welcome. Thanks, Eric. Thanks so much, Troy, for welcoming me, Eric. I appreciate that. It really is about just having good times with good people. It really is. It truly is. So Eric, I have a question for you. So I know obviously a lot about your story. Like I said, I was just really, I had like a sense, like an overwhelming sense of just like positivity when I saw you on the Today Show like 2 years ago. But tell everyone your story for those that are out there that might be newer to Eric Legrand and knowing who you are.
Sure. So I'm born and raised in Avenel, New Jersey. I got a full scholarship to go play football at Rutgers University right here in New Jersey back in 2008 was my freshman year. Going to my junior year now, I unfortunately suffered a spinal cord injury playing at MetLife Stadium where I became paralyzed from the neck down and didn't know where life was going to take me at that time, Judge. I'll tell you what. And, it's crazy to see where I was 15 years ago laying on a hospital bed with tubes coming out of me to where I am today with obviously multiple businesses and a foundation and whatnot. But, I always say thanks to God and the people that have been around me that have helped me and supported me and mainly motivated me to do what I'm doing. That's what's got me here to this day. And I'm just so thankful for that support and thankful to be able to share great business products with them as well.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, I would tell you, man, like when I remember like when everything happened to you, like originally way before obviously the Today Show, obviously that's more recent. I remember it happening and then seeing you on the Today Show, I was like, wow, he is like so positive, full of energy, and honestly just taking the world by like the bullhorns. And I love that. I love your positivity. That's what honestly really drew me to you. And then when Ron reached out, I was like, are you sure he wants to come on my channel? I mean, this man was just on the Today Show. I'm just the bourbon judge. I'm not anybody special at all. So I was just so happy to have you on, man. This really means a lot, honestly. Thank you, big time, truly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all come from different walks of life. And I could be on the Today Show one day, but I want to talk with my bourbon people. I want to be around the people that enjoy the same stuff that we enjoy and be able to hear their experiences as I'm learning and navigating through this business. I love to hear what people like, what they enjoy, and getting to know them better. So, no, it was an honor to come on here too, Judge. Come on now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, so let's transition to whiskey now. So let's go to whiskey. So rewind. So tell me, everyone has their bourbon journey, and I love hearing these stories too, right? Because it's so cool, right? So my bourbon journey started many years ago. I was in love with wine. My father-in-law had a wine cellar, and he was pulling me down that wine track, right? I had Merlots and Pinot Grigios and Cabernet, whatever. But then slowly I just started to gravitate like back toward whiskey. I know my family lives out in Cincinnati. My mom, I have a lot of like uncles, great uncles and so forth. When I was a kid growing up, always seeing my uncles drink whiskey, thinking like, oh, that's old man stuff. But then I just started to fall in love with it, man. I had my Woodford Double Oak, and I'm telling you, man, I was like hook, line, sinker, like it's a wrap. I fell in love with it, and that was probably like maybe 10, 11 years ago, but like from a channel standpoint, the last 5 to 6, but like that was my journey. Tell us about your journey, if you don't mind.
So I go back to my 20s when I first started actually drinking, and I'm drinking Jack, Tennessee whiskey, shots of Jack and Jameson. And then in my mid-20s, I got into like tequila. And I was drinking a Patron, going out, having a good time with your friends when you're in your 20s. That's the stuff that I grew up on. And obviously back then we were drinking beer. People don't drink beer as much Now, but back then, that's when you drink beer, you drink shots of Jack, shots of J-Mo, and then shot of tequila. Then I got into my 30s.
Okay.
That's when I really got introduced to, the bourbon and the whiskey world. So I tried Maker's Mark, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. Made it with an old fashioned. I'm like, hey, this is actually pretty good. And then you start people like, oh, you got to drink this, on the rocks. And then I remember trying the Blanton's, the Japanese Blanton's at the time. I got invited to this. I had a whole whiskey bar in his house, and I'm like, what am I doing? But I start trying stuff. I'm like, you know what? I kind of enjoying this a lot. And you got a nice little buzz. I'm hanging out. I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah.
Then now when I go, I'm like, all right, I gotta try Woodford. I'm like, I gotta try Neat and this and that. I'm like, I want to be a part of this community. Fast forward to 2022.
Okay.
We were sitting in my house. I mean, actually, no, it was 2020, I should say. It's when the conversation started. I'm like, you know what? I want to start my own spirits business. And I reached out to my business partner, Brian Axelrod, who has been in the business for 25 plus years, working with the likes of Conor McGregor, Jay-Z, and he's been through working with Bacardi, and he's made loads up, from a salesperson or rapper all the way when he's 20-something years old to where he is now, owning businesses. So I sold him this, and he goes, listen, everyone wants to own their own spirits company. He goes, you know what? He goes, let me sleep on this idea. So Judge, he calls me back the next day. He goes, you know what? Your story is so genuine. It's perfect. You have a great foundation, Team Legrand and the Christopher and Dana Reed Foundation. Why don't we make this a purpose-filled business and come up with what we're going to go with? We both agreed on bourbon because we both enjoyed it. It kind of fits me, who I am, that toughness, the grittiness to it. And it's my recovery. It takes time and patience to make. And so you can't make bourbon overnight. So it's like my recovery. So we got my foundation involved, and we started trying. I'll get into that in a second about how we came with the juice, the liquid. But that's how we launched it. And I remember it was the day after I opened up my first coffee shop here in Woodbridge. It was the next day I posted a picture of just sample bottles in front of me, and I had so many people reach out to me like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And one of them being Ron Rudy Jr., who's on this right now watching. He was like, hey, what are you getting into? And then
I love it, man. So you had the support. So I love that you had the support. You had the natural love for the spirit, as you mentioned, like with Makers. Then you tried it with a old fashioned, and then you had the Woodford, and then you had you were at your friend's house that had this massive whiskey bar. So you truly naturally fell in love with the spirit, and then obviously through talking to a lot of your different business partners, was like, all right, let's make a true business out of this, tie it to your foundation, which I think is wonderful. I think that's great. That is definitely good. That's good stuff. I love that. And then, so actually, my buddy Donald actually had a really good point. I just saw here. Thanks, Donald. I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much. So Donald says, obviously, definitely, again, amazing story. Obviously, everything that you went through and just your laser focus toward continued positivity, success as well. This is one question. It comes up because you did ask the question earlier, you want to know, what's on everyone's mind from a whiskey standpoint. So great question. What are your plans from a distribution standpoint? It looks like Donald said he can't find your whiskey in Nashville and Tennessee. Where can you find your whiskey? And then what are your thoughts on expansion, across the U.S.?
So we launched on March of 2023. So we're coming up now on will be 2026. Jeez, we're getting old now. Hey, in this business.
Don't worry. Me too, brother. Me too.
So it's coming up on our 3rd anniversary. So we said to ourselves, how do we want to build this business? Do we want to just try to get distribution everywhere, or do we want to build it, organically and where I can get to? Because listen, I'm in a wheelchair. It takes a lot for me I can't just hop on a flight and show me. It's a long process. I got multiple people, nurses, everything. So we said, me and Brian were both from Jersey. We're going to build our bones in Jersey. We're going to make our bones here. So we're available in New Jersey. We did launch in New York, somewhere in some locations. We're in Massachusetts, and we're also in Kentucky. So those are our locations, but our main bread and butter is throughout the state of New Jersey. There's plenty of opportunity here. The amount of support here. And we have our online store. So we're allowed to ship to the 33 states that allow you to ship. We do have our online store, ericlegrandwhiskey.com, where we've been selling throughout the country, which has been awesome.
That's it. Yes, you do have the online whiskey presence as well. That's huge. That is huge. You're right. You're right. As you build up, but as you mentioned, right, it's hard to get everywhere, right? But I love the fact that you have the core markets, right where you're at, and which, by the way, I don't think I even told you this, but this is obviously the reason why we have a natural connection. Jersey boy, born and raised. I might live in Delaware now, as I tell my wife, right? People ask me all the time, like, where are you from? I'm like, and I always make sure I'm clear. I live in Delaware, but I am from Jersey. So let's be crystal clear. Crystal clear. She hates when I say that.
Come on now, you know what? Us Jersey people, we're prideful. People
are proud of who we are.
A bad rap, but we're very prideful for where we're from. What part of Jersey
we are?
From?
I'm from mostly like East Orange, West Orange, South Orange, like Essex County.
That's why I went to therapy up in West Orange at Kessler, so Pleasant Valley Way.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was at rehab and did my rehab
I love it.
for 10 years. So I
love it. I love it.
From.
That's exactly, yes, sir. So Chris followed up, which is actually a really good question. Like, and I do understand this, right? Certain brands have like a lane that they're in, right? Like there are certain craft distilleries that I love that have more of like a coffee, chocolate, like leather kind of a I guess like a vibe, if you will, of what they prefer. Some whiskeys prefer like Maker's is obviously very like natural, weeded, sweet, and so forth. Is there like a certain profile that you're looking for, or what are your thoughts like in terms of like Legrand whiskey as a whole?
Let's get into this on how we got the juice and settled on it and our partners that we have in this. So so Brian and I remember we were talking about the business, and Brian's like, all right, we're going to get some juice. I'm like, okay, well, we got to raise some capital to really launch this brand. We got purchase barrels, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yes, we can do all that. I'm like, Brian, how are we going to do that with no juice? He goes, be patient. I'm like, be patient. We're selling the dream right now with no problem.
Yeah.
So he goes, trust me, we're not just going to take anything. Like it has to be something that's, really good. So, we're using Brian's connections. We got actually in touch with the people down at Bardstown who have acquired Green River Distillery.
Oh yeah, Green River, great brand, great distillery.
So Green River sends us up some product, and I remember when Brian and I, we get the samples, and we take a sip, and I'm like, hold up, how old is it? He goes, this is 2.5 years old. I'm like, this tastes pretty damn good. Let me get some more of that. I took some more, and he goes, I think we might have found our stuff. I'm like, this stuff is fantastic, and I'm like, you know what? I think we gotta pick this. So we went and we purchased, 152 barrels of that 2.5 year bourbon, and we said we're gonna age it. This is going to be this is our baby. We're gonna watch it age. We're gonna put it out on the market, especially because we're going to be introducing people to the bourbon market that may not have ever tried bourbon, but this is also it also tastes good enough where people who are bourbon drinkers will respect it. So we said we're going to launch with this, and we got it out there, and it took off. A lot of people started supporting us that first year in the very beginning, and then Brian's like, okay, then what do we got to do next? And that's when we dropped a 4-year single barrel that was 104 proof, which I'll have to get you some. We sold out on it's all sold out. The distributor sold it. I
saw that. I was like, I can't even buy a single barrel myself.
So it's in a few stores throughout New Jersey. I know a few that got it, so I'll make sure.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Get you a bottle, and I'll send it.
Hit me up because I'm in Jersey often for work. So let me know which stores. I don't mind commuting up there. I'm up there for work. So
I'll get it for you. I got one right by.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll definitely make sure I appreciate that. So, Big Rick, I will say, Big Rick, great point in terms of and thank you for wanting to support Eric and his charity and so forth. He mentioned earlier, so they're primarily in the tri-state area for now, but they do ship to over 38 states or about 38 states. I think Indiana, I'm pretty positive just from the whiskey knowledge. I think Indiana is a state where you can get your whiskey shipped. So go, directly online to his website, and I'm pretty positive Indiana is a state where you can ship. I think so. I'm sure someone else in chat probably knows for sure, but I think Indiana is one.
We ship to a bunch of different places. All the ones that allow us to do it. Go on there to the website, and you'll definitely get some. So it's been fun now with the bourbon. So you learn as you build a brand. People when you get bourbon and you sell out, people are like, well, when you get it back, I'm like, it doesn't come back like that. That's what we had. And people are like, wait, so you're not getting more of that? I'm like, no, that's why when we do our releases, we try to tell people, get it on it now. So we did a cash strength release over the summer where we purchased one barrel. We purchased one barrel, 136.4 proof, 7 years. That junk put some hair in my chest, I'll tell you that. But it was so good. It was so flavorful.
I bet.
We launched that, and in 44 hours, it was gone. We sold the whole barrel, and people were reaching out to me after like, Eric, I went on the website and it says sold out. Like, when you guys restocking? I'm like, it's gone. Like when you guys wait for the next drop. And
I get that. I get that. I respect that. I do respect that. Actually, that's a good point. And thank you, by the way, Tommy. I appreciate you, Tommy. We love you as well, brother. All right. So help educate us on your product. So I know, obviously, I'm sipping today, which, by the way, this is amazing. This is your Scarlet Knights, which is obviously representing your school. I love that. I had to rock my red Bourbon Judge gear to support, the Rutgers, your Rutgers, your team, the Scarlet Knights. So I love the branding on this, by the way. Very classy with the label going up. I love the design as well. But you also have a couple other products. I know some are sold out now, but you have some other products as well. Can you speak to some of your other products also?
Yeah. So you'll see on the website is our everyday 2.5-year-old bourbon that we have. That's actually, you're going to start seeing 4-year-old now that's coming out. That's our everyday 88 proof bourbon that we have to market that will never go anywhere. It'll just keep on aging, but it will always be 88 proof. That one that you have right there is age 5 proof, and we did it at age 5 years, and we did it at 92 proof and 46% alcohol, because most people know, you see the jersey behind me, I wore number 52 at Rutgers. So our first single bar we dropped was 104 proof, 52%. This one, people don't know. I wore number 46 for 2 games when I got moved to fullback my freshman year. So we did a little tribute with the Rutgers Scarlet Knight collaboration, which was not an easy thing to do. First time ever in the history of the school, putting that block R in the bottle. We dropped it at 46% alcohol because I wore 46 for 2 games my freshman year. And
I like that.
42 proof. So just little tidbits, and you see in the label, like the axes that are on the label. So the 2 reasons. At Rutgers, we have a model called "Keep Chopping." You chop down the woods. It's just an everyday life motto. Staying focused on the task at hand, chopping down that tree one hit by one hit. And then the other axle is for my business partner Brian Axelrod. So it kind of fits with the axes on there. So that
you fit in everything, man. You got it all. You got the axe for the chopping, the numbers, the tattoo. I love it, man.
Yeah, just little tidbits. And so, because you tell a story with a bottle of bourbon. It's about a story.
You do.
It's about a journey, and we want to have those little tidbits. And when people ask us about the label and stuff, it's fun to share.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is. And thanks, Mr. Judge, for dropping that in. That's Eric's website, folks. So a lot of folks, if you're not in the tri-state area and you're like, hey, can I get my whiskey shipped to me? Go directly to his website. That way you can just, click the link, and whichever bottle is available that's of interest to you, you can try to get that shipped to you. All right. So you have the 88 proof. You have this one, which is the 92. I heard, I think it was, I want to say, was it Ron maybe in comments? I think it was Ron that talked about some of your single barrels. And you mentioned as well, you had a single barrel sold out. Is there a schedule for single barrels? Like, do you try to drop like one a month, one every other month? I know a lot of people like myself are definitely probably interested.
Yeah, so we try not to flood the market. So we did a few barrel picks with liquor stores this 2025. We did 3 liquor stores where we did private barrel picks. Our own ones that we shipped to the market, we did. It was November 1st of 2024. We launched it. We had about 320 cases of the 4-year 104 proof. We put that out to market, and probably within 8 months that it was gone. Like, people all bought that up. And like I said, you can find it in select retail stores, but offline it's gone. Last year in July, it was June or July, we dropped the cash strength, and then we're planning already now for the spring coming up. April, May. Well, I'll let you guys know. Brian's gonna laugh, but we're gonna drop a 9-year this year.
What? Oh, I'm definitely gonna need to know when that comes out.
9-year. We'll definitely make sure that you guys know. We'll obviously, limited edition. We'll probably drop about 2 barrels of that, but we're sure that one will go pretty fast. But we're excited about what we have on the market right now, because it's a respectable at age 5 years, and I can actually taste now the difference in the aging of it, because it's the same. I was 2.5 years are now 5 years old. It's like watching your baby grow. You know what I mean?
It is. It's like watching your baby grow. You see it grow up. You're like, oh, this is my baby. I will say, for a 92 proof, this is nice. And Green River, and thank you, by the way. I love the fact that you're very open, very honest in terms of like your partners from a whiskey standpoint. But I would say this is nice. What I love about Green River as well, your whiskey, this is very nice, very clean on the palate, right? Especially for a 92 proof. It's something that you can honestly sip like all night. You really can.
Exactly.
So very nice, very approachable.
That's been a big problem when you crack open that bottle, you pour it, and next thing you know, you're like, Damn,
I want some more.
I know,
Which I'm about to pour some more. You're making my Thursday morning tough, Eric. You're making my Thursday morning tough.
I got a lot of text messages. That's the best part about it too, Judge, is when I'm sitting on my phone here and I get random people just sending me pictures of the bottle and whatnot. They're like, Eve, look what we're sipping on tonight. And where can I get another bottle? I just ran out the first one. I'm like, that's what warms my heart because people are really enjoying it. And like you said, it's smooth, it's flavorful, it goes down nice, and you can drink multiple glasses. Which you want? I break out the cash strength stuff for special occasions. I don't drink that. I don't on that every night.
No. The last thing you want is to sit back sometimes drinking cash strength on a night where you're like, all right, you want something just like nice and clean. And this is it. This is that kind of pour. It really is.
You want to put it really is. It's cold out now. You want to have the cigar out. You get the bourbon. And you sit there by the fire pit and you take your night away. So that's kind of what we do. And also how we got involved too. So people don't know, my foundation is Team Legrand and Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. And we decided that my number was 52. So every case we sold, it's our 6-packs. We donate $5.20 back to the foundation so we can help find a cure.
I love that. Honestly, that's good. I mean, talk about sipping whiskey for a good cause. I mean, that is truly sipping whiskey for a good cause. So truly every purchase, a portion of every purchase goes back to the Christopher Dana Reeves Foundation. I love that. And part of your foundation as well. That is wonderful, man. So thank you for doing that too, because, obviously you don't have to do that, right? So obviously you care about, the foundation, you care about giving back. So thank you for doing that because, you don't have to do that. So appreciate you, man. Appreciate you so much.
I appreciate that. And we're after this year, probably be over $20,000 given back to the foundation in our business. So we want to keep on growing it. And our goal is to one day be able to write them the biggest check that they've ever received. That's the goal. It's a lofty goal, but hey, that's what we're here for. And this is what we're
there for. I love it, man. I love it. And thank you, by the way, Bourbon Balls. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys as well. All of you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the support. So Eric, I got a question for you. So like whiskey, I saw earlier. I'm trying to go back to the comment to see who it was. Someone was talking about how, which I know a lot of people love rye, right? A lot of people love rye. What are your thoughts about rye for the Legrand brand as a whole? Is that something that's kind of up your alley? Is that something on the side, maybe down the road? What are your thoughts on rye whiskey as a whole? I
think we'll probably do something down the road because people do enjoy the rye. Like ours right now, it's 21% rye. So there's our mash bill, so it's 21.9 right now.
Oh,
so,
it is. Okay.
So you're gonna get that rye taste in there, and
it will.
So I think it's nice. It's nice for the palate. It's nice, flavorful. But it became, I feel like, a trend at one point. But people enjoy it, and it's something that that's another reason why we chose this bourbon category because it's versatile. You can drop the cask, you can drop the sycamore, you can drop the rye. So as we get going into this brand, we don't want to flood the market with too much stuff. So as I told you, we have the cask strength coming out. Maybe next year we'll do the rye. We start to get some samples, and like, you know what? Let's put this out so if we enjoy it. So
absolutely.
I'm all about people trying different versions and different variations and different categories of the bourbon.
Totally agree. And Big Brick, definitely, man. Thank you, by the way, for ordering a bottle, and thank you for putting it on your channel as well. I think that's great. We'd love to spread the word more about Legrand whiskey. So definitely, I think you're gonna love this one as much as I'm loving it, Big Rick. So definitely get it on your channel, my friend. Definitely. And Tommy, you were asking about where it's from. So it's from Green River. He has Eric had mentioned earlier. He has a partnership with Green River through the whole Barstow Bourbon Company and Green River connection. So which is awesome because Green River has some amazing whiskey, very consistent as well, great quality whiskey. I've never had a bad bottle of Green River as well. And this as a expression from it, this to me is honestly amazing. So I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
Have you ever been out to Bardstown? Because it's coming from Green River and it's bottled in Bardstown. Have you been?
I have, yes, sir. I love the Bardstown area. Love it down there.
Well, I got to go there in September of 2024 with my first time getting there. Man, what an experience! Okay. So when we got there, that was right before we released. It was right before we released the 4-year single barrel. So we get there that morning, and it's like 9:30 in the morning. So they're very processed. Everything's gone.
Oh yeah, early.
Bring us in the back, and they pulled some samples. Like, all right, you want to try some? I'm like, cool. It's like, all right, here we got your 4-year 88 proof. Start with that. Drink that. Like, here we go. Nice. Oh, this is age well. Oh, so here's the 4-year 104 proof. I'm like, all right, let me take that back. Oh, do you want to get one straight out the barrel? I'm like, whoa. All right, hold on. We want to make it throughout the day. Like, it's now 45, and I've already taken down 3. I'm like, all right, this is going to be a long day. But I'll tell you what, it was a great experience to just see the bottles
good
on the
people.
line, the way that it's being labeled. You see the
Yeah.
product going, and then you get to go around and learn about the whole, the before it goes into the barrel, the white dog, that's what they
Yep.
call it.
Oh
And
yeah, white dog. Yep.
sipping on that, and just the whole distillery like that is very accessible, obviously, because it was made in 2017. So we have some great
Yeah.
partners at Bardstown and Green River. So the journey is just to keep on growing this thing with them because they've been great to us, and we just
That's
appreciate
awesome. That's awesome. Alpha has a really good question. Alpha Ross wants to know how can he get in touch with you, with you or your team for a barrel
it.
pick? Like if someone's interested, like the store
Yeah.
maybe wants to do a barrel pick. What's the easiest way to get a hold of you, Eric?
Through our website, we have our email, so it should be on the website, ericgrandwhiskey.com, and that goes directly to Brian and I, and we see that, and we love doing barrel picks. We did actually one with the Central Jersey Bourbon Society group. We did a barrel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they picked. We met at my coffee shop one night. They brought
All right.
about 4 of their group members over there. We got them 4 different samples, and it was a 4-year 117, a 5-year 125, and then we had 2 7 years at 134 and 130 and 136.
Okay.
And
I love it. I love it.
It was a 7-year 135. They picked that one, and we released that to the Central Jersey Bourbon Society group, and I think sold out in minutes through them. So it was pretty cool.
I bet. Us Jersey and whiskey people, we know we love some good whiskey.
And it was also to see because they were our very first barrel pick. So I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know. You're new to the market.
You never know.
Yeah. So I'm like, I hope people, they may not look like, what is this Legrand whiskey? Like, no, I'd rather drink, my Woodford, and they had their brand, but no, they took to it. And then once they tried the product, then they're like, what are you doing next? And that's why.
Yeah. Okay, how can I get something? Yeah, something next. Yeah, the next expression. I love that, man. I love that. All right. Well, at least now I know. I didn't realize that you guys did. I thought your single barrels were just only like for you and like online with your whiskey store. I didn't know that you did it for groups. So now that is top of mind for me. So I have your contact info, of course, obviously, as well as your partner as well. So now I know for the Bourbon Judge community as well. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this happen. I like that. I like that.
Awesome. I would love.
We're definitely gonna make that happen. And Alpha, obviously, just you see the website right there, Alpha. So just get a hold of Eric or his team, and that way you guys can kind of coordinate a barrel pick. I love that. I love that. All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to whiskey in a second. So you are obviously you started off as you went to a fullback for 2 years. How was that experience going to a fullback? Because that had to be like completely different, unless you were a fullback in high school too.
So listen, in high school, I was actually a running back, middle linebacker. I was always big. I was 6'2", 205 as a freshman. By the time I graduated, I was 245, 250, playing running back, and had been a linebacker in high school. So when I got to Rutgers, they moved me to the D line. They're like, we're putting you on the D line. You're strong enough. You're quick enough. You can handle your own. So I grew into that body at 207 pounds. But freshman year, it was actually 2 games only. Thank God. They moved me to the offensive side, and I'm like, this is a different language. And I know when I'm on the offensive side, I'm used to getting the ball. They're like, no, you run full speed into that linebacker and you block him and open up a hole. Like,
take him out. Yeah.
Like, you know what? I like the defense. I like chasing the guys down and tackling them, try to block. Yeah. So I lasted there for 2 games, and then they're all right. Put you back on the defensive line. That's where you
back on D line. All right. So you went back to D line.
2 games, and that was a hell of an experience. Just running full speed and somebody trying to block out, and I'm like, I'd rather be making the tackle. If I'm not getting the ball, put me on defense. I'd rather be making the tackle.
I hear that. Absolutely. Make that tackle. I played high school football for a little bit, got hurt, and then I shut it down.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't it was one of those things. I played like middle school as well, and then played in high school, and it just, those injuries started to pile up, man. Even my daughter says to me, she's like, why are your shoulders so messed up, Dad? I'm like, high school football, baby. High school football.
Back in the day, when you got hurt, they're like, I'll just get back, you shake it off, get back in there.
Yeah, shake it back out. Yeah.
Compared to now, they'll put you out for a few weeks back then. It was get back in there. You put somebody something to get back in there. But
instantly.
Football's made me who I am today. Just the discipline, the mental toughness.
Indeed. The mental toughness, absolutely.
The teamwork, the leadership qualities. It's all. People ask me all the time, like, do you regret playing football? I'm like, no, because I probably wouldn't be the person I am today without the game and the lessons.
Without it, yeah. That's so true. It's funny how it builds like that character and that truly like who you are at your core, right? It's truly who you are at your core, which is awesome.
You think about it, Judge. You only get in high school 10 opportunities, in college 12 opportunities, and You make it to the NFL 16, 17 opportunities to actually play the game. But all year long, you work every single day for those 60 minutes that you get to go out there for a few times a year. So that you learn a lot about yourself.
Literally, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. What's going on, my man Meyer? Meyer's he's a fantastic channel, by the way, Eric. Make sure you check out the Bourbon Drop. Bourbon Drop. My buddy Meyer is a good brother, super cool brother, real good guy, and knows his whiskey too. By the way, knows his whiskey.
That's
for
awesome.
Sure. All right, so we're stick before we go back to whiskey real quick. So, what are your thoughts on this whole Indiana coming from nowhere, Fernando Mendoza? I mean, if you would have told me, Eric, at the beginning of 2025, right, last year, because obviously this year they just won it. If you would have told me at the beginning of 2025 that Indiana was going to win the national championship, I would have said no way possible. I would have given someone my life savings and said, you have to be out of your mind. It has to be the Miamis, the Texas, the LSUs of the world, right? Were you just as shocked as me and the rest of the world?
I have two thoughts. One makes me want to punch myself in the face, and two is that it could be done. Listen, Rutgers, we got welcomed into the Big 10 in 2014. New to the Big 10, people always, oh, you guys don't belong. But Indiana used to be a school where we always beat them. Like Indiana was a school that we always beat, and we played them last in 2023. We beat Indiana and we beat Miami. In 2020, now 2 years later, we're both in the national championship. You're like, how the hell? In 2 years, they get there. This is why I want to punch myself in the face. But two, it also shows it can be done. Obviously,
it can be done.
Market with NIL and whatnot. You got to give credit. Signetti is a hell of a coach, and
fantastic
his discipline and the way that they don't make mistakes, and they just operate so efficiently, and you go into the portal and you get guys that are 22, 23, 24 years old who have been in the game for a while, so they're experienced. They know how to handle these moments. And he went out there and beat a bunch of 5 stars left and right between Ohio State and I forgot their pathway. It wasn't
big time. It wasn't easy. Yeah, Ohio State. Who was the other team they beat?
I know they beat Oregon. It was Oregon and
Oregon.
But then after Ohio State was another Alabama. It was
Alabama. The Alabama beatdown was ugly. Man, me and my buddy went out to watch that. I was like, "What is going on?" I mean, they beat them bad. Like they beat them down.
35-3 in a Rose Bowl. So you beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. You beat Alabama. You beat Oregon, and then you beat Miami, Indiana.
Indiana.
They're going to make a movie out of this, and it's.
They are.
The biggest turnaround in college football history.
Yep, this is absolutely, truly history. To your point, they're definitely going to make a movie out of this. This is insane. I'm still in awe.
The most losses in college football history. I'm afraid to say, I think Rutgers is only like 11 or 12 games behind them. And the way Indiana's rolling right now, I'm like, we might pass them soon with the most losses. The way that they're rolling, 20. I mean, Cincinnati's like 27-2 or something crazy like that.
Crazy. It's insane.
We need to get some of that Mark Cuban money at Rutgers, and I believe in Coach and the staff to get us right.
For real, you definitely do. Absolutely, the Rutgers needs to got to get some of that Mark Cuban money, some of that nil for sure to bring in some of those some players. All right, so we'll go back to whiskey. So actually, I think Alpha has a really good question here. So, would you ever consider? I'm gonna actually expand on this, Alpha House, if you don't mind. Would you ever consider doing? It's really hot right now. Everything loves like a cigar batch or just finished whiskey, right? I mean, there's so many different finishes that are out there. I mean, rum. Various different wine finishes, Amburana, that Brazilian oak. Would you ever consider doing a finished whiskey for your brand? And if so, does anything kind of stand out to you?
Yeah, there is actually. So Brian and I actually discussed doing a finish. And like I said, we didn't want to flood the market. We're trying to make sure we put enough product out there slowly. And we talked about the finish and some ideas that we had. But at first was doing a wine one because we saw, how Bardstown did one. I believe what was it with Double Oaks or I forgot exactly. I forgot exactly. They did a wine finish and it really took off. So we were thinking about that. Then we talked about doing a cigar thing. Like we have some cigar partners that we've done events with. Like maybe doing something. Then people know I have a coffee shop, so we've been talking about doing a coffee bourbon finish too, and seeing doing that too. So there's ideas that we have floating out there. We haven't come. I didn't break any news yet, so Brian, don't yell at me that we haven't come up.
Brian's like, please stop talking, Eric. Don't tell everything.
I didn't tell
Don't reveal our marketing plans.
But these are some ideas that we have floated out there for people, to get excited about.
Yes.
Going to be a coffee, whether it's going to be a cigar, if it's going to be a wine finish. But yes, the ideas have floated about.
Ideas out there. I like it. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know because, I would say even myself, right? I'm a big cigar guy, and not big, but I like a good cigar once in a blue moon with whiskey. And I would tell you, my wife knows this, whenever I go back outside on our screening porch and I'm ready to smoke a cigar, just me personally, right? I don't know about everyone else out there. I never sip whiskey, a regular standard whiskey, right? Unless it's a finished whiskey with a cigar. I want some type of a rum finish, a wine finish, a cigar batch, if you will, the whole triple cast of sherry and the brandy and all that. I need that. Or I will
just you want that flavor, the flavor with the cigar.
I want that flavor with the cigar because the cigar is obviously very bold, and you get a Maduro wrap. It's very deep and so forth. I want just a little bit of sweetness in my whiskey to kind of soften up the harshness of a cigar, and those two together, oh man.
I don't think I haven't done a finish yet with a cigar. I might have
cigar. You definitely got to do it. You absolutely got to do it. Oh man, I'm telling you,
double oak. Yes,
I could go on for days. So if you ever need anybody to run ideas by and say, Judge, what do you think people might prefer in terms of finishes, even even without a cigar? Love to give you my input. You just let me know when, and I will.
That's what we love too. We're an open brand. We want to hear what the people want. Brands get so big sometimes they're going to put whatever they put out there. If it does well, it does well. If not, us, we're a small brand. We want to know what people like because we can't just put something out there. It doesn't do well. We're like, oh damn, what are we going to do now? So we want to hear suggestions what people like, what the market is too. So we love to hear.
Absolutely. And I saw your people just put in the I think Alpha asked where was your coffee shop at? So it's right in Woodbridge. I know Woodbridge very well.
I'm born and raised. That's where I'm born and raised in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to get up to your coffee shop too because which is funny. I mean, I tell people all the time my number 2 love in this world that I truly love. I love golf, but I'm not good at golf. The number 2 love in my life other than family and other than whiskey is by far coffee. I love coffee. Oh my gosh.
My motto is coffee by day, bourbon by night. That's my motto with these 2 businesses. I have 2 products that people really enjoy, and I gotta make sure people think, oh, celebrity name this. I'm like, no, I gotta put out quality product. I'm not just
quality products
on a bottle or a cup of coffee. No, it has to be high quality stuff. And do you pay for it? Yes, you do. But guess what? People enjoy it.
Absolutely. So keep me honest. You had your coffee business before your whiskey business.
Yep. So it was during the pandemic when I was sitting at home because a lot of people realize don't realize I'm in a wheelchair. But when it comes to spinal cord injuries, there's a lot of other secondary complications. So when COVID, with my lung deficiency, it can really mess me up. So I'm in the house watching Hulu, Netflix, all that for months, and I'm like, I got tired of that. So I started listening to some audio books. And try to get some motivation, listen to David Goggins. And then the one that really motivated me was Phil Knight's Shoe Dog and how he created Nike. I was born in 1990 when I was old enough to realize Nike was a brand already. I didn't realize the struggles that he had getting Nike launched and how Adidas ran the market. Yep. So I drew motivation from that. And I said, what do people want? What do they need? And I'm like, coffee is something that people need every day. I hired a business advisor. Didn't have my first cup of coffee until August of 2020. And let me just say, it changed my life. And 1, because obviously the business, but 2, that stuff is damn good. So I got to learn about the coffee business and launched my online store in January 2021. And our brick and mortar opened up in May 14th of 2022. And I told you after May 15th is when I dropped the hint about the bourbon because that was all being worked on too during this whole process of opening up the coffee shop.
That's awesome, man. Good for you. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mrs. Judge is right. Coffee and bourbon. Oh my gosh. I would never leave. I don't know. We went there and we are going to do it. I saw someone dropped a comment about the barrel pick. Yes, we are definitely going to do a barrel pick. I'm gonna work my hardest to make sure that it's in person if possible at your coffee shop, and I'm gonna walk away with buying a lot of coffee because I love coffee, maybe almost even more than whiskey sometimes. I love a good cup of coffee. All right, I gotta get off the coffee kick because it's oh man, that's crazy. That's cool. That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
I appreciate all the support. And that's like, this is what it's about. Giving back to the community with a great products and getting to learn more about people. And like you said, I would love to have you come up and we try some samples at the coffee shop. And like I said, you can try the coffee to start, but we're going to be sipping on some bourbon and see what you like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's a question for you. So you start the whiskey business. Obviously, you're working with Ron, with Brian as well. So when you guys started out, was it harder than you thought to get into the whiskey business? Was it, more challenging as a whole? Because I know, like the whiskey business, once you're in, it's a wonderful community. But I do hear sometimes like it might be a little bit challenging to kind of, to use a construction quote, to kind of like break ground. Sometimes it might be a little bit challenging. But how was it kind of making that leap of faith? Because to me, like that would be, to me, like as a newcomer, someone new to whiskey at that point for you, I would think that would be like a really big challenge. How was that for you?
I'll be fully transparent. Coffee was a lot harder for me because I had a little team, but I was doing it more so myself.
Okay.
The whiskey, I leaned a lot on Brian. Brian's in this business. He knows how to work with the distributors. He knows how to get the glass, where to get the cork, where to get the labels, how to get the legalities done. So Brian, like I said, I may be the face, but Brian is behind the scenes to help get this thing.
Brian helped a lot.
I was following Brian's steps as he was teaching me and learn. And then, like I said, be patient. Things don't happen overnight. They all come together. They're using connections. So get the business up and running like that, to get the, like I said, the product, the label, the bottle, the legalities, the distribution. That's where I think on Brian a lot to help me with that, because I was new to it. I did not know it, but him with his 20 plus years of experience, I'm learning this now. In this world, especially with like distributors and like liquor stores, and people jump ship all the time. So you don't want to burn bridges.
You don't
want to burn bridges, because one day they can be working at this place, the next day they're over here, and you need that relationship to keep on growing as you're trying to, sell your product to these whatever restaurants and liquor stores and bars and distributors to jump and ship.
Distributors and so forth.
You don't want to burn too many bridges in this game, even though it's a tough market. There's a lot of product out there. But
there is a lot.
We're small, but we're mighty.
So true. Yeah, no, Crystal, that's definitely my plan. Like I have a lot in the works for the next few months, but like mid-year, absolutely, man. You're going to see a Legrand Bourbon Judge special coming to a theater near you, Christoph, for sure. Definitely.
We'll definitely connect and get you some samples that we can have fun.
Appreciate that.
I know Ron will come by and we'll get a nice little tour.
I would love that. I definitely would love that. So when you bought a lot of your whiskey, I think you said like 150 to like 200 barrels. Did you keep everything in Kentucky, or did you bring it back to New Jersey, like in a warehouse, rick house, to age? What'd you guys decide to do there?
Everything's in Kentucky at Green River. Ryan, that was big with Brian said. We got to get our juice from Kentucky. I know you can get from other places. You can do it in New Jersey, you can get it from MGP in Indiana, but Brian's things like, we're getting our liquid from Kentucky, and we're working with our partners, and everything is there. Everything we do is in Kentucky. Yep. So Brian flies out a lot more than I do. Like I've been out there once, but I'll be this year. But everything that we do is out of Kentucky, because
it's out of Kentucky. Okay,
that's where it should be. That's how we feel. That's where it should be done.
I respect that. Hey, nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, especially
we know we can do it out of other places. It can be. Yeah. We want to
correct. You could get it from other places, but you guys have made that set like statement, like this is who our partner is. You have a really good partnership with them, which I respect that. I think that's a good thing as well. Definitely a good thing for sure.
They treat us well, and our product keeps on aging well out there, so we enjoy it.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, Legrand honey finish. Oh, I'm thinking of actually, I'll take it a step further. A honey finish as well as in parallel, not together, but in parallel. That coffee finish you mentioned earlier as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that would be.
I think people would really, and especially because they know me as a coffee shop too, as well as with the bourbon. I think people would really want to be like, what does this coffee finish taste like with the Legrand bourbon? So we got ideas, Brian. We're going to work with our partners on how to get it done. But like you said, the honey, the cigar, like that's why it's so cool on how many different things you could do with these bourbons. So I can't wait to dive in more. I already gave you the hint on what we're dropping in a few months, but stay with us. Follow the brand and watch.
Stay tuned. I love it. This is a fun question. So Chris said something that defines a New Jersey state of mind. Oh. New Jersey. I think Eric I think you hit on. I'm gonna let you go first. I have my thoughts. I'm gonna let you go first.
Tough, gritty, not afraid to get our hands dirty, but also loving, caring. even though we will argue with anybody in the world about New Jersey. We're the only people that are allowed to talk bad about ourselves, because if anybody else does it, we're coming at you. But once you come here, you see the people. We're not so bad. We might beat the horn at you, give you the finger on the highway, but other than that, you'll see we are some of the most loving, caring, passionate people that there are out there. We're tough to get our hands dirty. That's just we're living in Northeast. It's cold most of the time. It's just how it is. They're hardworking people.
Yep, I couldn't. I honestly, I don't think I could answer that any better. Like I said, my wife always says to me, like whenever people were out and about or we travel, we're traveling as a family on vacation, and people say, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And they're like, "Oh, well," and she says, "Oh, we're from Delaware." I'm like, "Oh, well, just because you're clear, hold on. We live in Delaware. We do live in Delaware, but I am from New Jersey." Like it's that tough, gritty, that mindset. It's like a sense of pride. That's why I would say it's a true sense of pride. It really is. It's something about that whole Jersey spirit. It's special. It stays with you no matter where you travel to, no matter where you live in the world, anywhere. It just stays with you.
And George, I actually got a good story too. So when we first went out to Kentucky, so with my wheelchair, I have a pretty big power chair. It doesn't fit on all planes. So the planes flying out of New Jersey, we had to fly into Nashville and then drive up to Louisville and Boston, because the planes going into Louisville weren't big enough for my chair. So we're driving. So we had to fly into Nashville and then take a 2.5 hour drive up to Louisville, and then we hit Bardstown the next day. But we stopped by stories. We stopped at Buc-ee's. My first Buc-ee's experience. I'm like, yo, what is going on in here? This is great. I got people who go in there. There's T-shirts. There's look like a Walmart. There's a lawnmower over there, and I got somebody yelling brisket on the board. And they say we go over to the beef jerky section, and my Brian goes, let me get like a pound of that. And the lady goes, y'all's not from around here, are you? And we're like, no, we're not. She goes, I'm from New York. I'm like, no, New Jersey. Like, we're not New York, we're Jersey. So that's my little Jersey story about experience at Buc-ee's. Where she's like,
love it.
From New York. I'm like, no, we're from Jersey.
I love that. That is so funny. My daughter wants to go. I've not been to one either. I know all about them. Trust me. I've been educated by my teenage daughter, who tells me everything. I swear she thinks that she's like just the same age as I am. She's like, well, Buc-ee's is like an experience. I'm like, honey, I do know what Buc-ee's is. Thank you very much.
It is an experience. I was in there. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? But I like this. It's just everything that's happening.
That is cool. All right, so people are asking about your coffee a lot too, which is pretty cool. So it looks like some folks are asking, like, would you ever expand outside of your Woodbridge location for your coffee shop? Like, which I do know the Exchange Place over in Jersey City, fantastic spots. What are your thoughts about expansion on the coffee side?
So we're actually in the process of opening up our second location in Middletown, New Jersey. So I'm giving you guys all the hints. I haven't even let that known to the public. So anybody that's listening, we're getting ready to open up a second location in the spring of this year with some partners that were just customers that came up to the coffee shop. They enjoyed it. They left me a note one day talking about expansion and they would be interested. I reached out to them, got to know them over the past year now, and proud to say that we're going to be opening up another one in the next few months or so. So the lease is signed and we're ready to go.
I love that. Congratulations, man. That is awesome. That is like music to my ears. You start with a business, you expand out from like the coffee over to whiskey. You continue on being very successful in the coffee side. Now expanding on. Kudos to you, man. Congratulations. And your team as well. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I got some great people around me. And they're like, you do right by people. You treat people right. People want to be around. They want to help you. They want to support you. And I've seen that so much. Like in the beginning, people knew me as the coffee guy. And now it's kind of turning, you're the whiskey guy. So
whiskey guy.
It's awesome to see how everyone knew me from the coffee in the beginning. I was on all the TV shows, this and that. Now, people started to see me. Oh, you got a whiskey too? Wait, hold up. and now I'm the whiskey guy. So it's really cool to see.
That is too funny. So Eric, this is actually a good question. I think Myron brought not a question, but Myron brought up a really good point. And thank you, Myron. I appreciate my man. Thanks so much. So he said your prices are very reasonable, and I do remember them online. But what are your prices? I know that's going to vary online versus like certain stores, but like for the most part, like your Scarlet Knight series versus like your other product, the one that's the Legend, the 88 proof one. Like, what are your prices as a whole, roughly for the most part?
Yeah, we try to be as reasonable as possible. Like our MSRP I believe it's $39.99 for the 88 proof. Online, it might be just a few dollars more because of obviously online prices. And then the regular Scarlet Knight series, I believe MSRP was either 54 or 15. I'm trying to think, $59.99, depending on which. Yeah, obviously liquor store. Some of them we will give them the tell them the price, and then some of them will price high. I believe it was $54.99. But we try to be reasonable. If we have to take a hit in our fee margin, so be it. But we try to be as reasonable as possible. We don't want to be one of those brands that overprice stuff and people get off at you. I've noticed that. Believe me, in this bourbon community, when you see people pricing high, they're like, it's a turn off, and they get mad. And I understand that because it doesn't need to be. People get greedy, and they think because they put out so much good stuff that people want to buy it. Let's be fair. Let people enjoy your product, especially us. We're trying to grow. We're not trying to outprice people. We're trying to let people enjoy our stuff.
We appreciate that. I would tell you, man, that is like, and I'm so glad that you brought that up because honestly, this day and age, like in the whiskey world, one thing I love about in the whiskey world, people are the true consumers, the avid fans, even the fans that are like people that like enjoy whiskey and people that love whiskey, no matter what level you're at. People understand the prices of their whiskey, right? And they know what their budget is. They know if a brand has, like, I mean, people come to me, right? And I review whiskey and I have like a pretty decent collection, whatever. But people will come to me and they'll be like, do you know, and I won't call out a certain brand, but they'll say, do you know X, Y, and Z raise their prices from X to Y by like $10? And I'm like, well, maybe that was just one store. They're like, no. I travel out for work. I've been in 5 different states. It's all the same price. I'm like, damn, well, to be honest, they're actually right. Whiskey people will get upset. If prices go up, they truly get upset. Do not mess with someone's whiskey. Don't make it go from like $50 to like 75 or 80 because they will get
I've seen it on different platforms like Facebook. People like, I'm not buying that brand no more. They raised the price, like you said, $15, and I can go get something else and a market for my budget range, and that's it. I don't want to respect what they did. I was a loyal customer to them for 15 years, and now they're going to raise their price. I'm like, whoa, like I don't need that. We don't need that. Yep. So we're very reasonably pricing. Our price is our price, and we think it's very, very reasonable. It's not over. We don't overprice anything. So we want people to be able to enjoy our product at a fair price.
I love that, man. I love that. So, we learned a lot about you, Eric, tonight. Honestly, your success in terms of everything that between you and your partners that you guys are working on. I love the fact that with all of your whiskey, a portion of the proceeds go back to the Christopher and Dana Foundation, Reeves Foundation. I love the fact that obviously everything is very like reasonably priced, great quality whiskey as a whole. You're working on a lot of different things for 2026. I know Brian's probably like, Eric, please stop talking. Please stop telling everybody everything that we're doing. Sorry, Brian. You can blame me, Brian. You can blame the judge for that. That's me. I somehow I pull it out of people. I pull it out.
Hey, Brian, people are excited. They're excited for our future, man. What we got right now.
Exactly. Very, very excited. Very excited. So my last question for you, Eric. I want to be respectful of your time. I know we're coming up on an hour here. When you think about Legrand whiskey for 2026 and beyond, what's like your core focus that you want everyone to kind of leave as like a memory note, if you will? What's like your core focus?
I think I tell people when you're sipping the bourbon, you're sipping for a purpose, you're sipping for a mission. It's not only me that has a spinal cord injury. It's 5.6 million Americans that are dealing with some sort of paralysis. And I feel like using my platform through a bottle of bourbon is the best way to be able to support that. And when Brian and I say, when we're long gone off of this earth, all of us, we hope that people could go to a bar or restaurant and see that bottle on the shelf and be able to tell that story. That story gave back to the paralysis community and helped us find a cure for paralysis for people walking one day. So that's why we ask people to support. Like, we know times are tough, but if it's in your budget, just know that you're drinking for a cause and for a purpose, for a mission. And we believe one day the Christopher Reeves dream will have a world of empty wheelchairs. And we're going to do it through a bottle of bourbon.
Wow. Damn, man, you dropped the mic on me. Goodness gracious. I'm like, that was perfect, man. I love it. I love it. Honestly, man. I like you said, when you leave this world, it's like you want to be able to have like a positive impact on the world, right? It might be, X%, but as long as you were leaving this world with a positive impact, right? You made the world a better place than when you originally left it. That's what it all means, honestly. That's
our legacy. Means. That's our legacy. That's what it's about. People will always remember how you made them feel, but once we're long gone, people will be able to share that story about what you're able to do, and they may not know who you are. And my jersey at Rutgers now it's been retired since 2013. Well, guess what? There's a whole generation of kids that have no idea who Eric Legrand is, but when they look up at that jersey, their family can tell who I was, what it's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I will say, Big Rick, to answer your question before we close it out, is it good? It is absolutely amazing. And I only do barrel picks with brands that A, I respect, B, I love their whiskey, and I respect the hell out of Eric, out of his whiskey. This is something that I saw a lot of people bought some bottles tonight. Can't wait for others in the whiskey community to have a chance to try this whiskey. It's truly amazing. Great whiskey, but then also a great man behind the brand, which is more important. So cheers to you, Eric. Thank you so much, man, for your time. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out with me. I had a chance to learn a lot more about you, a lot more about your brand, your partners, your business, everything that you stand for. And honestly, man, I'm a big fan. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. This is what it's all about. I'm Big Rick, I promise you. I ain't going to steer the wrong way and put nothing bad out there for you, brother.
I appreciate that. We love it. We love good whiskey. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for catching and hanging out with us tonight. Take care, everyone. See you guys.